Hello and welcome to today's session about the SAP Sustainability Suite. My name is Caroline Kolberg and I'm an SAP business consultant for S/4HANA transformation and sustainability. So in today's session, we will have an overview about the SAP Sustainability portfolio, and at the end of the session, you will have an idea about specific use cases in the context of sustainability and the related SAP solutions. So we all know that the topic of sustainability becomes more and more important in the corporate context. And no matter how you're affected by sustainability, we can always divide this topic in these three dimensions: environment, social, and governance. And the most important thing for this is the database. And if we are talking about sustainability projects, for example, in CSRD project, the good thing is that you never have to start by zero. So a huge part of this database is already existing data within your ERP system, for example, S/4HANA, or your HR system like SAP SuccessFactors. And with this data, we can calculate a lot of KPIs which are relevant for our ESG reporting. So for example, social KPIs like employee training or employee working times. Yeah, we can calculate these out of our data from SAP SuccessFactors or S/4HANA. But then there will always be a point where we also have to collect new data to get a holistic view about our sustainability performance in our company. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. We may need additional software solutions to collect those data or even to report it. And then you can see the SAP software solutions and how you can use them to report or collect additional data to create a huge database for your sustainability reporting. So why is this so important in the context of S/4HANA? So we have a S/4HANA project and we have a sustainability project. And in my opinion, you never can separate those projects separately, because especially in the beginning of both projects, they will influence each other. So if we have an SAP Activate methodology here for our S/4HANA project, in the Discover phase, for example, we will collect your business requirements for the S/4HANA core processes. And of course, there will be sustainability aspects, for example, procurement. Suddenly, you will take sustainability aspects into account if we are talking about choosing new suppliers, for example. And if we have a holistic view about both projects and do them at the same time, we really have the opportunity to directly implement those sustainability aspects in your S/4HANA core processes. And we are always talking about end-to-end processes here. And now we don't only have financial reporting at the end, we will also have a sustainability reporting. So these aspects are really important if we are talking about S/4HANA processes. And for both projects, good data quality is essential. We can't do those projects without it. And of course, at the end of those projects, we will have a positive outcome for your company. But this requires a lot of change. And I don't have to tell you that change always have internal barriers, and you have to take several challenges within this. And if we have a unified change process for S/4HANA and for your sustainability project, you can decrease your change effort and even improve your employee acceptance. And then regarding an S/4HANA project, you will always have business goals. And in a sustainability project, you have sustainability goals. And sometimes they will conflict with each other. So for example, there's sometimes always a more sustainable way to do things or a more profitable way. And so we have to align those goals, find rules for those situations, and create long-term benefits here. So let's have a quick overview about the EU sustainability regulations. For example, we have the CSRD here, which are some companies already affected with, and they have to create an ESG report for 2024. But as you can see here, there will be new regulations upcoming in the next few years. And for example, we have the EU deforestation regulation or the digital product passport, which not only affects companies that are based in the European Union, it also affects companies who import specific products to the EU. And also, maybe you have intercompany processes where part of your companies is located in the EU. You're also affected by those regulations. Yeah, so what we can see here that with the CSRD are not the end, and there will be more requirements. And even if you're not directly affected by them, you may also be indirectly affected. For example, if your customers need data from you to tackle their legal requirements. And this is only the European Union. There are several requirements all around the world which are quite similar to this. So what I'm going to say here is we see that a solid sustainability data foundation is essential to meet these current requirements, but also upcoming requirements, because you don't want to set up a huge project every time a new legal requirement comes into account. Yeah, let's have a look on some use cases and the related SAP sustainability solutions. So for example, if you want to calculate a carbon footprint for your holistic company or even for product data, your main product is the SAP Sustainability Footprint Management. But this is not a standalone solution. You also need data from your S/4HANA Cloud system for master and transactional data to calculate it. And you always need also data from your suppliers, for example. So this is all Scope 3 emissions. And this you can do with the SAP Sustainability Data Exchange. And then, if necessary, that depends on which industry your company is operating in, you may also need the SAP EHS for additional Scope 1 and Scope 3 data. And then we have the CSRD. So this is all about ESG reporting. The main product here is always the SAP Sustainability Control Tower. But this is our reporting tool. So we also need a carbon footprint calculation that you can see there on the left side to report for CSRD. And then you, of course, also need an S/4HANA Cloud system for the master and transactional data. And you may also need some other systems, for example, for HR data like SAP SuccessFactors or travel data like SAP Concur. And then we have the CBAM regulation, which is really to avoid carbon leakage. This is also all about Scope 3 emissions along the supply chain. And the main product here is the SAP Sustainability Data Exchange. But if you want to share carbon data, you also have to collect it before. So you need also this part of carbon footprint calculation here. And then also an S/4HANA or S/4HANA Cloud system for the transactional data. And then we have the EU defrustration regulation, which is really to avoid defrustration along the supply chain of specific products. And this can be divided into two parts. One information part, Article 9, what we can see here on the left side. The main product for this is SAP Green Token. And then you also need data from an S/4HANA Cloud system or ECC for some transactional data. And then you also need a solution to collect satellite data to get really pictures of the forests along your supply chain. And Westernacher has a cooperation with LiveEO for this, but you can also use similar tools for this. And then we have the other part about EUDR, which is all about risk management. And the related product here is SAP Ariba Supplier Risk. And you also need an S/4HANA or S/4HANA Cloud system for the transactional data. Don't be confused. I won't go into detail to SAP Ariba Supplier Risk today because it's officially not part of the sustainability landscape. But have in mind, if you want to tackle EUDR, you also have to consider this risk management part. And then we have the certification ESCC EU, which is to tackle the RED 2 regulation. And the main product also here is SAP Green Token. And you also need an S/4HANA Cloud system or an ECC for the transactional data here. Let's have a look on the first solution for sustainability. This is the SAP Sustainability Control Tower. This is really our product for the ESG reporting. So if we want to control our ESG performance, our sustainability performance in the company, we use the Sustainability Control Tower. If we are talking about CSRD, there are maybe over 1,000 data points you have to collect. And a lot of them are already included, audit ready as ESG metrics in the Sustainability Control Tower. But this doesn't cover all of those data points, but you can easily create own metrics as well. And then there are predefined data models and calculations for several KPIs. So in the moment where you import your data to SCT, you can directly calculate those KPIs. And then new in Q1 2025 is also an AI-based ESG report generation. So we can really generate an ESG report without manual effort. So out of our KPIs that we collect, all the data that we collect in the SAP SCT, we can create, with the help of AI, an ESG report that you can use for your stakeholders, for marketing, for your website, and so on. This is really powerful. And then we have in progress also the disclosure management, which would be important to create a CSRD report. We need this in the XBRL format with ESRS tagging. Yeah, and this is what is currently in progress. But let's see, how does it fit in our SAP sustainability solution landscape? So for today's session, I will divide our solution landscape in the data collection part and calculation and the reporting part. Of course, at the end, you can't build a strict line here, because there are always some tools which can do both. But for today's session, you will get a better overview if we separate those topics. So, and as you can see here, we have the SAP Sustainability Control Tower really on the top of it, because this is our tool where we control our processes, where we control our sustainability performance. And we can use data from the SAP data sphere to import in the SCT, and also we can directly connect our S/4HANA Cloud system to the SCT. And we have also the opportunity to import data from third-party applications here. Yeah, then our next product is the SAP Sustainability Footprint Management. This is our solution to really calculate carbon footprint. One time for the whole organization, so the corporate carbon footprint with Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emissions. And this is really an important key figure that you can provide to your customers, to your suppliers, and so on. And then we have the other part, the product footprint calculation, which is really also necessary for several legal agreements. And this is a complex process, because if we are talking about the carbon footprint of a specific product, we have to consider not only the production process, also we have to consider the transportation process. And in the moment where we change something, we also have to again calculate this carbon footprint. And sustainability footprint management is doing this for us. And then we have the AI-supported mapping of emission factors. So always, if we want to calculate carbon footprint, we have to consider these emission factors. This is a separate an external database called LCA, and this is connected to SAP Sustainability Footprint Management. And with this AI-supported mapping, we can reduce the manual effort to map the ERP materials to those emission factors about 80%. Yeah, in our solution landscape, we can see that the SAP Sustainability Footprint Management is down here. And we can connect it to SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Also, we can consider third-party applications here, import data to SFM, and then we can report in the SAP Sustainability Control Tower. Yeah, now we have our latest product in the SAP Sustainability Suite, the SAP Green Ledger. This is our tool to really integrate financial and carbon data. So I think this is a really benefit for each corporation, because we can now see carbon data on the level of financial data and really can compare it. For example, we have cost centers, profit center group. And with SAP Green Ledger, we can see our carbon emissions on this level. And then we compare it. For example, if we have for one profit center an increased revenue in 1 month, and then we want to see, okay, how does this affect our carbon footprint? And then we can directly compare it with each other. And of course, we need our S/4HANA data for this. So the whole calculation is based on material movements from S/4HANA. And we are taking this journal entries from there and not only consider now financial aspects, we also consider carbon aspects for this. And at the end, you will have a carbon accounting ledger, really like a ledger that you know from S/4HANA for financial aspects. You will have the same one for carbon aspects. And I give you a short example of a journal entry that you can see really what it looks like. So this is my familiar to you because this looks really like a financial journal entry that you know with, for example, the company code. Then we have the accounts, we have debit and credit. But now instead of financial aspects here, for example, US dollars, we have now CO2 emissions. And then in the moment where we have a material movement, we not only move the financial aspects, we also move the carbon footprint with it. And this is all what SAP Green Ledger is about. Yeah, in our sustainability solution landscape, we have the Green Ledger between S/4HANA Cloud, so our financial data, and SAP Sustainability Footprint Management, as we bring those data together in here. And you have one time the opportunity to collect the carbon data from SAP Sustainability Footprint Management, but you can also upload a spreadsheet for the carbon data or even enter it manually via an UI. But you also have the opportunity to import data from third-party applications here. And then we will report this into in SAP Sustainability Control Tower, but you can also do the reporting with the SAP Analytics Cloud for this. Yeah, and then we have SAP Environmental Health and Safety Management. This is part of S/4HANA. This module exists since several years, and I won't be too detailed here with the functions because this is a really powerful tool. So we have a lot of functions here across several industry solutions. And but let's have a look on the really key features of this tool. So for one thing, we have the environmental management. So managing emission factors, not only GHG, also water, air. We can meet compliance requirements here, collect additional Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions. And then we have the health and safety management part, where we manage chemicals for health and safety processes, consider EHS risks and locations. Then we have a part for incident management, where we really can manage and report incidents and also manage injuries and illnesses. And then there's a part for management of change, which is more about the change of equipment and related processes. And if we see those aspects here, you may think in the first place that the relevant aspect of this tool for our ESG reporting is the environment management. But don't forget the social and the governance part of an ESG report. And these three aspects down here, so the health and safety management and the incident management, are really important for our social and governance aspects of the report. So if we use SAP EHS, we will have a lot of data for this part of your report. Yeah, I already mentioned it. This is part of S/4HANA. So we have this within S/4HANA Cloud. And we also can import this data to SAP Sustainability Control Tower, report it there, and we can use this data to calculate our carbon footprint. So we import it in to SAP Sustainability Footprint Management. So we just talked about solutions to really collect data and to report data for our company, but now we want to share this data with customers, with suppliers. And there our tool to go is SAP Sustainability Data Exchange. This is really a platform where we can share actual product carbon footprints for the Scope 3 emissions with suppliers, with customers. We can even request data here. And the good thing is we have a standardized data exchange, so it's interoperable with several standards, for example, Catena X, which is really relevant in the automotive industry. Yeah, in our solution landscape, we have it down here on the left side, and we use this Scope 3 data to calculate our carbon footprint. So this is connected to SAP Sustainability Footprint Management. But have in mind, this is really our opportunity to connect with our suppliers and our customers. So this is really a network. And the same thing is for SAP Green Token. SAP Green Token is all about an auditable chain of custody. So for a material you use, you have supply chain. But with the help of SAP Green Token and the help of blockchain technology and tokenization, you really create blockchain entries for each step of the supply chain. And with this, you can create a chain of custody here. You collect always ESG information along the supply chain, and then you generate automatically a digital twin of your materials. And we know now where our materials are coming from, but when they arrive at our company site, there's the production process, and there will be happening a conversion with those materials. But at the end, with the help of SAP Green Token, we can tell for every of our products what's the origin of those integrants. And SAP Green Token can also create a due diligence statement here, which is relevant to meet, for example, EODR requirements, and share this sustainability documentation with your customers, for example. Yeah, in our solution landscape, we have it on the right side here because we're interacting, of course, with S/4HANA Cloud because we need those transactional data for the production. But also here, the same as the data exchange thing, we have a network here. So this is also a chance really to connect to our suppliers and our customers. So now you have an idea about the different SAP sustainability solutions, and now I'm going to tell you how we at Westernacher can help you to tackle those. So our approach at each sustainability project will be in the beginning to define your goals. So I'm really talking about the business and sustainability goals here. And even after that, we define your reporting scope. So we will have a look on your current legal requirements, but also at the upcoming legal requirements. And what we are going to do is then define a future enterprise architecture for you, which is suitable for your company. So if we see this solution landscape, this may not be useful for your requirements. So maybe you say, okay, I just have to report for EODR. So we consider the tool SAP Green Token. Or you say you want to do an ESG reporting, but you already have a carbon accounting, so you may not need the SAP Sustainability Footprint Management, but you can still use the SAP Sustainability Control Tower. This is what we will figure out with you together. And with the help of several tools, for example, LeanIX, we will give you an overview about your future enterprise architecture for sustainability. And after that, we will do the data acquisition. And as you know, the topic of sustainability is implemented in several areas of your company. So we need a team of experts for each department. And we at Westernacher have experts for all SAP topics like EWM or S/4HANA and, of course, the sustainability reporting part. And together as a team, we will then collect those data. And after that, we have the assurance part where we may cooperate with an auditor to really ensure compliance with legal and business requirements. And after that, we have the analytics and steering part where we establish KPIs, develop dashboards for you, and monitor your sustainability metrics. Of course, this is an ongoing process. And after that, we will have the reporting and the disclosure where we really prepare your ESG report and do the disclosure part. And of course, this is not the end. So there will be new requirements. So we all have to start over and do this process again. To wrap it all up, now after this session, you know how important a good sustainability data foundation is, and you know why you have to consider the topic of sustainability within S/4HANA projects. And you have an overview about the portfolio and the functions of each SAP sustainability solutions. And I would appreciate to figure out what's the suitable enterprise architecture for sustainability for your company. And I'm looking forward to work with you. Please feel free to reach out. You have my contacts here. And thank you.